Donald Trump back in the White House and already making waves in the crypto sphere.
Especially with this rumored appointment of Paul Atkins to head up the SEC.
Atkins, he brings a lot of experience to the table, right? Having already served as a commissioner back during the Bush administration.
Right. And even before that, he had a pretty substantial career on Wall Street as a lawyer.
I think a lot of folks are looking at that background, combined with what's been reported about his libertarian leanings and wondering what his approach to crypto regulation might be.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the influence of his wife's beliefs, her libertarian views and how they might impact his outlook on things.
Makes you wonder how that's going to play out in terms of policy.
It does, but I think even beyond ideology, his career after leaving the SEC is pretty telling when it comes to his stance on financial innovation.
Absolutely. I mean, founding Patlomac Global Partners, a firm so deeply involved in digital finance, it definitely suggests he's been following the rise of crypto pretty closely.
For sure. And let's not forget his role as co-chair of the Token Alliance since 2017.
An organization that's been actively advocating for the crypto industry, pushing for a more accommodating regulatory environment.
Exactly. Atkins is not just watching from the sidelines. He's been a vocal proponent of crypto.
He's talked about a paradigm shift towards crypto and wants the U.S. to be leading the charge.
He's even said that the SEC needs to pay more attention to these crypto developments, and I'm quoting here, enable markets to flourish.
Sounds like he's really focused on reducing costs for investors and those raising capital within the crypto space.
He is, and he's been pretty outspoken about it, not just in interviews, but even during his congressional testimony where he argued for scaling back some of the regulations that he sees as overly burdensome for the industry.
It seems like his potential appointment has generated quite a bit of excitement within the crypto community.
Oh, absolutely. People are really hoping he'll be someone at the SEC who gets it. Someone who understands and is sympathetic to their needs.
Saw investor Mario Nawfal praising the potential appointment on X, predicting we could see fairer industry-driven policies under Atkins.
A lot of this optimism, I think, stems from the contrast between Atkins and Gary Gensler, the outgoing chair.
Gensler's approach being labeled by many as regulation by enforcement,
which a lot of people in the crypto world view as overly aggressive and hostile to innovation.
Yeah, it feels like a pretty big shift in regulatory philosophy.
Definitely could be moving away from these heavy-handed enforcement actions and towards a more collaborative approach with the industry.
And maybe even in line with some of the promises Trump made about crypto during his campaign.
He did get a lot of support from crypto entrepreneurs and voters interested in more crypto-friendly policies.
So maybe this is part of delivering on those campaign promises and catering to that specific voter base.
Could be.
Things have certainly changed since Atkins' last time at the SEC.
The crypto world's come a long way since then.
Back then, Bitcoin was just getting started, and the idea of a tokenized economy was pretty out there.
Now you've got a multi-trillion-dollar industry with all sorts of digital assets and blockchain applications.
Decentralized finance, NFTs, stablecoins.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ballgame.
It is, and the world is watching to see how the U.S., with its influence on global finance, will approach regulating this rapidly evolving space.
It seems like from what we've heard, Atkins understands that we need regulatory frameworks that encourage innovation, but also address the legitimate concerns around investor protection and market integrity.
He has spoken about the SEC needing to be flexible and adaptable, recognizing that the old ways of regulating traditional finance might not be the best fit for the nuances of the crypto market.
Which makes sense given how decentralized and often borderless many of these crypto projects are.
A one-size-fits-all approach could stifle innovation and push businesses towards jurisdictions with more crypto-friendly regulations.
It would be a real shame to see the U.S. lose its competitive edge in this emerging landscape.
Absolutely. There's a lot riding on this. The decisions the SEC makes in the next few years could have a huge impact on the trajectory of the crypto industry, not just domestically, but globally.
It feels like we're at a real crossroads, with everyone waiting to see how this new administration navigates this complex and rapidly evolving terrain.
One of the biggest challenges, I think, for Atkins will be finding that sweet spot between encouraging innovation and protecting investors. It's a tough balancing act.
Especially with the volatility we've seen in the crypto markets. There's a real need to prevent fraud and manipulation while still allowing for responsible experimentation and growth.
And he'll also need to figure out how to address concerns about money laundering and illicit activities without putting unnecessary burdens on legitimate businesses and projects operating in the crypto space.
It's a delicate balancing act, and he'll be doing it with everyone watching, both sides of the political aisle and international regulators who are grappling with these same questions about how to approach crypto.
There's a growing sense that international cooperation and coordination will be key to creating a stable and effective regulatory environment for crypto.
Because no single country can effectively regulate a technology that by its very nature transcends borders.
It'll be interesting to see if Atkins' appointment leads to more dialogue and collaboration on the global stage.
It's definitely possible. His experience and connections within the international financial community could be really valuable in facilitating those kinds of conversations. If the U.S. can establish a clear and pragmatic regulatory framework, it could serve as a model for other nations trying to do the same, potentially leading to a more harmonized approach to crypto regulation worldwide.
That would be a huge step in the right direction. A fragmented and inconsistent regulatory landscape just adds to the uncertainty and hinders the growth of this still developing industry.
So while Atkins' appointment has gotten a lot of people talking and speculating, it's still too early to say for sure what impact it'll have on the crypto market.
We'll have to wait and see what specific policies and actions he takes once he's in office. But based on his background, past statements, and the overall political climate, it seems like we could be entering a new chapter for crypto regulation in the U.S.
A chapter with implications for the entire global financial system.
Absolutely. This is a story that's still being written, and we'll be paying close attention to how it unfolds in the months and years to come.
This potential shift in the U.S., with regulation, it makes you wonder if other countries might feel the pressure to follow suit.
Yeah, it's possible we could see other countries trying to keep up and maybe even create more favorable conditions for crypto businesses.
Almost like a regulatory race to the top to see
Mhm.
who can attract the most crypto companies and investment.
Right. Or maybe it could even lead to more cooperation globally. Like a more unified approach to regulation, that would be ideal, wouldn't it?
I think so. Something that balances encouraging innovation, but doesn't just ignore the risks.
It would definitely create more stability and predictability for both the businesses and the investors. Trying to get that level of international consensus, though, that's no small task.
No, it's not. There's so many different interests and perspectives to take into account.
But if we can get there, the benefits would be enormous. It would make it so much harder for the bad actors to, slip through the cracks and just hop from one country to another.
A global unified approach could make the whole crypto ecosystem safer and more transparent.
For sure.
There's still so much we don't know about Atkins' potential appointment and what it all means for the future, but it's clear that the stakes are incredibly high.
Absolutely. The decisions made the next few years could have a really significant impact on where this technology goes.
This is bigger than just the price of Bitcoin or the latest trends in DeFi. We're talking about the future of finance technology and maybe even the global economy as a whole.
It's a complex issue, no easy answers, but it's one that we need to think about carefully and critically.
It's been a fascinating discussion, exploring all these possibilities and the potential new era for crypto in the U.S. It's going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, thanks for joining us.